This is a follow-up video from the recent hair privilege video that I uploaded a few days ago. So one thing that is worth mentioning about hair privilege, but specifically natural hair privilege, is the jealousy towards unambiguous Black women who have healthy, natural type 4 hair, to be specific. And I think it's just not talked about enough, especially in our unambiguous Black women spaces. And unfortunately, a lot of the culprits tend to be other unambiguous Black people, as well as outsiders too. So there are many unambiguous Black women who have mid-length to long hair, and I can guarantee that they've all come across someone at least once in their lifetime, someone who has exhibited varying levels of jealousy towards their natural hair. Because it's happened to me multiple times, and I've noticed that it shows up in various forms, and I've also seen it happen to other people too. So one of the ways you can spot this type of jealousy towards your natural hair is when someone close to you, like a family member or even like a hairstylist, picks on the smallest thing about your hair and uses that as a reason to justify why they think you should cut majority of your hair off. And the main giveaway to be able to tell that it's coming from a place of jealousy is by how much hair they advise you to cut off. And majority of the time, when it's coming from a malicious intent, is when they suggest you cut several inches of healthy hair to compensate for the small flaw that they notice in your hair. They even volunteer to cut the hair for you. And when it gets to that, I implore you all to be careful, like super careful, before you take up this advice, because your hair is your sacred crown, and you need to think not once, not twice, but thrice about letting people touch your hair in general. To me, it's a massive red flag because it sounds like they want to have control and the authority over your hair to be scissor happy. And if you disagree with them, they typically feel a certain type of way about it, even though it's your own hair. And some will even suggest you to cut your hair to some weird, awkward lengths that may not suit your face at all. And granted, if your hair is damaged and beyond repair, and you trust your hairstylist or you trust whoever is advising you, and you know that their advice is coming from a place of love and education, by all means, listen to their licensed advice. Long hair is a sign of femininity, and length in general is positively correlated with a woman's attractiveness. So the longer the hair, the more attractive the woman tends to appear in society. Many jealous people feel threatened to see another woman attain and benefit from this. So what do? They try to set you back or they suggest you to do styles that are actually harmful for your hair. So your hair will break off and be more damaged, or they suggest you to do certain practices that actually will be harmful for your hair. And the reason why they do this is because they don't want you to benefit from that specific beauty standard. The thought of you benefiting from it makes them feel inferior, and they think it will make them look inferior. You can also tell when someone is jealous by how they handle your hair. And this isn't specifically aimed at hairstylists, but it's a lot more related to hairstylists. But if your hairstylist is rough and careless in how they treat your hair, they always seem to be in a rush when doing your hair, you need to speak up and ask them to be more gentle and slower, or whatever way will make your experience better. If you're too shy to do that, you're going to have to put that shyness in the trash and speak up. Think about how you're spending your hard-earned money on a service that you're paying for. Think of the hours you toiled to afford this service. Don't let that money go to waste, ladies. Even if someone else is paying for you. Think about how much it took for them to actually get that money to be able to pay for the service. Another way you can also spot this jealousy is from the constant love bombing. Excessive compliments in which the person tends to put themselves down can be a way for them to hide their actual malicious intentions. So people who constantly compliment you by saying, "Oh my gosh, I love your hair. My hair is so ugly, so nasty, like it cannot compare to yours. I wish I had your hair." When someone compliments you like that, be very wary, because compliments are great. They're nice, but when someone goes out of the way to compliment you whilst degrading themselves, be very, very wary, because for people who do this, they want to give you that false sense of security to make you feel like you're safe with them. It's a trick. It really is a trick. And it's a way to try to get into your vulnerable space so then they can just do whatever they want to do with you. But also on the flip side, constant negative remarks and comments made about your hair are also a sign of jealousy too. You may think, why would anyone be jealous about a hair type that they claim to despise? But think about it this way. Why would anyone go out of their way to claim they despise a particular hair type and repeat it not once, not twice, but multiple times? At this point, they are giving you unsolicited attention. And usually when people hyper-focus on the things that they claim to dislike, they secretly desire them, but because it's not within their reach, they hate as a way to cope for their lack. So be mindful of that. People can even be jealous about how manageable your hair is too. I know it sounds ridiculous, but there will be people who will complain about not being able to style their hair, about not being able to detangle their hair, and then watch you not struggle with your own hair, but they'll watch you with envy. And then mind you, there are various ways in how you can overcome the struggle by trying different detangling techniques. It just takes some time and patience. So many of these identifiers can definitely apply for all hair types, but this is what I have seen and I've experienced as someone who has type 4 hair. What do you all think? Have you ever experienced natural hair jealousy? As always, I'm looking forward to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.